Okay.
Alright, so I'm going to have my computer right behind you.
Yeah, I'll be like stepping in a little bit side to side.
So, hey Mike, can you hear me? Yeah? Alright. Hello, I'm Jonathan Neely, coming to you live from beautiful, sunny, on its way towards sweltering Cancun, Mexico, where we're in the second round of play at the Pan American Ultimate Championships. We've got Quake from Quebec City, Canada, against Fenix from Mexico City here in Mexico. Fenix is in red, Quake is in the black tank tops, and we're at 0-0 with Fenix starting. The first pull went out of bounds. We're about to come in at the brick mark. Definitely breezy already at this point in the morning, and both teams before the game commented that they'd be playing a lot of zone. Here we see a Quake zone that's overloaded toward the front, a lot of players packing in toward the disc, not too much going on deep. And Fenix did talk about short 5, 6, 7-yard passes pretty much all game long. They think that that's going to be one of the keys to their success, is just being able to maintain the disc. We see a lefty through the cup that breaks, gets about 15 yards. Fenix has been completing passes fairly easily since. A Quake player bid through the cup, missed it. That opened up some daylight. Fenix has also been doing a good job staying in the middle of the field, and there's the first goal. 1-0 Fenix. For the game, I spoke with Quake captain Michael Perez-Shabat and talked about basically the same thing as Fenix, looking to work short passes, not being impatient, not a big hucking team. Both teams commented that really they're going to know they're successful if they're completing short passes and being patient with the disc. You see teams here at this tournament, I think the ones that can huck will set themselves apart. Both of these teams actively went out of their way to say that they are not a hucking team. Will be interesting to see if either of them can goad the other into trying to become one. The wind's blowing slightly from the right of your screen, like top right toward the screen. That pull stays in bounds, but it's a good 30 yards up from the end zone line. Quake also coming out in a spread. Fenix not playing zone. Fenix playing a junk, looking to switch downfield, but it's mostly in man-to-man matchups. Quake has yet to complete a pass from a handler to a cutter. Looking to swing around, not able to hit the open side of the field. A bump on the mark from Fenix. We'll see how aggressive these marks get. There's the first pass to a cutter. Fenix coming out of the stack to another cutter. Fenix now working about 5 yards out of the end zone, yet to hit the swing side of the field. And that's 2 contact calls from Quake on Fenix. It looks like Fenix's marks are going to be deliberately pretty aggressive, pretty physical all game. And yet Quake gets open to the force side. That ties it up at 1.
Mike.
Quake's pulling bounds this time and deep into the end zone, or at least into the end zone, I should say. Fenix is going to have to work the entire field if they want to put this one in. Again, short passes from handler to handler with a Quake zone that packs it into the front. And there's the first turn of the game. Quake now 5 yards out. There's an upline pass, and that's a goal. That's the first break going to Quake. 2-1 Quake.
Program doesn't list like who is what seed. I don't think so.
All right, we've got Quake coming with an upwind pull. Be a standout. And here's a huck from Fenix. Talked about not being a hucking team. It's up, and there's a turnover. So like I said, we're going to see which team can make the other huck. Neither of them wanted to do so before the game. Said they're looking specifically and explicitly to work short passes. There's one from Fenix. Probably not the worst decision in the world going downwind. It's starting to get breezy here. Here's Goodere picking up on the end zone line. You see Fenix in a man set, but with the handler sag, stopping an upfield throw. There's one, and there it's saved. Goes past the intended receiver. Another cutter-to-cutter pass. I think that's going to be crucial in this game. How many teams, which team? There's a big, big layout block from, they call him Georgie, number 6, on Goodere. That puts Fenix about 15 yards out of the end zone. which team can string together passes from cutter to cutter is going to be telling. A lot of times handlers are strong at working the disc together, but creating that space and getting meaningful yards downfield is kind of the next step for teams that want to go to another level. Fenix tries a quick ISO in the end zone. It doesn't work, and it's across field. We're here in the middle, about 20 yards out. Open side passes, and there's one. He's going to be out of bounds. Looks like there was a pick call before the throw, which is going to send the disc back. And it's not. It looks like the decision is that the pick did not affect the play. Uninvolved with it, so it's going to come in at the front cone where Fenix was unable to complete the pass into the end zone. You see Quake again coming in a spread, looking like there's the swing across field, continuing toward that break side, still unable to hit that 20 yards remaining on the break side. Both teams are staying on the force side. I think another indicator of success in this game is going to be working it to that side of the field. You see Godere going up line. That opens up a swing. And there you could see a swing to the break side. Quake electing not to take it. Quake saving what could have been an errant throw out of bounds. What was an errant throw, saving it from going out of bounds, I should say. Here's the swing over to the break side. Godere unable to come down with it. There's Georgie again, number 6. We're 3 yards out here. Into the end zone. That's a score for Fenix, tying it up at 2. It's our first multiple turnover point of the game. And I think we're going to see that the wind is going to be a factor here. It's not so gusty that it's going to take down any tents or any flags staked in the ground, but you definitely have to put some spin on these throws. They're going to have to be sharp. It's going to test just how good of throwers these players are, especially when they're under defensive pressure. I would expect continued zone play. Fenix with a roster in the mid-teens in terms of how many players they brought. They've got a couple players out due to injury. A number of their players were unable to attend just because it's been a long season for them. They traveled to the United States sectionals and regionals, which if you play Ultimate, you know that can put a strain on the wallet. This pull gets into the end zone. We've got a 4-man cup, and there's a turnover. A scuba attempt lands 5 yards ahead of the receiver. That's going to let Kevin Christian, a former double-wide player from the States, pick up. Fenix with an end zone drop that would have tied it up and gotten it back to even. Quake is now going to come in on the front zone. You look at this Fenix cup, it's quite tight. Very likely Quake could be calling double teams. Interesting, Fenix has been strongly influenced by Double Wide, who is well known for playing a 4-man cup that's very effective, really stifles throws. There's been a relationship there, mostly because of the proximity between Texas and Mexico City. Not that hard for Double Wide players to travel to Mexico and teach what they know. And it's interesting to see it play out here. There's a throw over the top, enough space for it to float down without much trouble. Quake going over the top again. This could be off to the races. That's a strong move from the wing, Christian, to stop the continuation. Here's another give-go. Into the end zone. That's a score for Quake. That's a hold.
3-2 Quake.
Got an upwind pull coming from Quake. Gauthier with the pull. Will that get in bounds? Yes, it does, by about 3 yards. We see Fenix here in a side stack, gonna isolate big space underneath. That's a good gainer. Whether or not he can continue it to his cutter is gonna be big. There is a chance for an around break there. Still gets about 15 yards up the middle of the field. Here we see a reset. And here's the second huck of the game from Fenix. Could be trailing out of bounds. It's gonna be too far. A greatest attempt, but he was out of bounds anyway. You see Gauthier coming up to the line. Quake getting into a spread offense. And Quake with the turnover. One thing you're seeing out of Quake is a cutter will catch the disc in the middle of the field and not turn to look upfield. That really lets Fenix know that they can keep up the handler pressure without having to worry so much about guarding upfield. Quake's got to find a way to threaten to get one 15-yard pass after getting one already. You see Fenix attempt their in zone isolation. Doesn't work, and now they go crossfield. It's going to sail out. Gauthier to pick up at the cone. We see a travel call. So I think Quake has a good opportunity here. You look at how many players are not right in front of the disc. If they could clear out one or two more and run a bigger isolation cut, that might lead to upfield yards. Quake hook is not going to stay in bounds. It's windy enough that our umbrella just blew over up here in the tent, and it's weighted down by what looks like about 75 pounds. So it's definitely starting to get gusty. Fenix picking up, looking to go cross field. There's no pressure there. He's going to come down with it. And there is, ooh, could have been about a 30-yard gainer. He's going to call it up. That was not up. Clearly bounced off his hands and onto the ground, in my opinion. He goes ahead and concedes down. Or not. Looks like it's going to get sent back. This call could be big. Sometimes these games, when they get progressively windier, you think back to the early breaks. If Fenix holds on for a hold here rather than a break from Quake, that really could have an impact on the game. See Fenix looking reset. Unable to complete it, so Gauthier picking up. Centering to the middle, running a give-go. And then they're using the break side. They're going to lose 10 yards on the dump. Swinging to the middle. Looking off the open cutter, hitting Gauthier on the break side. He's now 15 yards out with the around backhand. And that's a Quake break. It's now 4-2 Quake over Fenix. Second break in a row for Quake.
El personal que haya pedido un
What
taxi,
game is that?
el personal que haya pedido un taxi lo está esperando.
Yeah, man.
All right, so I'll be back. I'm playing now. Come over.
Yeah, sounds good, dude. All right. We're here at a timeout with Fenix. Again, we're in round 2 of the Pan American Ultimate Championships here in Cancun, Mexico. Cancun, Mexico. What's up? Yeah? So, Mike, it's okay to go off the open. I've got it.
Just put. Guys are pretty short.
Yeah, I can probably wait till that.
Last 1 minute section.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
This point that allows you to work honestly.
Quake with the pull. Fenix 15 yards out of their own end zone. Quake again with the big zone, the 1-3-3. Fenix not really forcing them to stretch the field. More short handler passes from Fenix, which is what they predicted before the game. Coming around, still seeing both teams struggle to use what I would call the high side of the field, the side that the wind is blowing from, which is the top of your screen. It's coming in at sort of a diagonal from the top right toward the top left, but sometimes just from top to bottom. We now see Quake with the disc. There's an inside flick that gets them over to that high side, and looking into the end zone, unable to bring it in, just a lapse in focus really with what was either an open side flick or the mark had jumped over to the wrong side, but what should have been an easy 5-yard throw in for another Quake break. This is Fenix's third hook of the game. They're gonna bring this one down. That's their first completion, and then a hasty throw takes away what could have been an easy goal. It looked like Fenix had a 3-on-2 going on. Quake now with the disc. Player finds his way open. And here's a huck. Ooh. He goes one hand, He can't bring it in. What you'd like to see there, if you're gonna go one hand, is to come with the left so that you're coming around the disc. That right is really just stabbing at it. You either catch it immediately when your hand hits it, or you've got no chance. You come with the left, come around it. If there's a bobble, your body's in position to make the catch on the second attempt. Harder to do that when you're stabbing at it. We're gonna see Quake set up in their zone. Fenix stretching the deep a little bit here, which I think is going to create some space underneath. We'll see if they can use it. Taking the easy pass to the low side of the field. Now coming across the high side. This is solid work from Fenix to stay on this high side. You get over here and your options to the entire field are a whole lot more open. They're going to lose 15 yards, come back to the middle of the field. There's not really a continuation through the middle that Quake has to worry about. And it looks like now Quake is actually forcing backhand, which is high side. They're going to switch back over to flick. Fenix doing a solid job with the 5-yard and shorter passes. They're now about 25 yards out. And Quake is transitioning to man. Turnover from Fenix, still forcing it up the force side. One thing you're seeing from them, and this is partly the Quake marks backing off, is that even on their force side flick throws, they're able to step out and throw backhands where their feet are positioned like a flick, but their shoulders are square and a backhand's coming out. If Quake could be a little bit more pressuring on these marks, I don't think Fenix is looking to swing, so if Quake could go a little bit flatter, take away that backhand, Fenix is likely to have a harder time working up the force side. This is a Quake timeout. Interesting, you see Quake calling the timeout on their own end zone line, having to work upwind. Honestly, I'm not sure I love the call. You've seen a lot of turnovers thus far. And if they come out and turn it in the first 1, 2, 3 throws, it's kind of a waste of a timeout that you might want to save for between points if there's a time later in the game where a break is really crucial. And there you see it. First throw turnover is going to give Fenix the disc about 10 yards out of the end zone. Again, we're currently at 4-2 Quake. Fenix again trying the ISO. It's yet to work. You're going to need to go around, and it gets hand blocked. So back to Quake. What you don't see there is anyone streaking deep, and on a turnover, especially if you've got handlers going to pick it up, you've got plenty of people who can come under. It's good to get someone going deep to stretch the defense. There's a turnover, and an immediate Fenix hook. Looks like it's going to work. That's a goal. 4-3, Quake. Fenix now with a chance to break back and get closer to being on serve. Do you want some? So this is one.
You probably have much time too.
Alright, cool. Thanks, man. You want some?
What's the gap inside the big?
We've got Gauthier coming into the middle of the field after an out-of-bounds pull. Fenix with the 4-man cup, different from the 1-3-3 that Quake has been playing. Gauthier immediately calling a double team, probably smart. I think that by default, Fenix is double teaming. Here's that chance to go to the high side of the field. Strong move. Let's see if they don't lose yards on the dump here. If they can at least stay neutral. Here we go to the high side. Now, if Quake could, off these swings down to the bottom of your screen, if they had an over-the-top throw after that swing, there's going to be huge yards there. So you might see it here. No, they're going back around to the high side. The challenge after this, all right, there's the huck. Is it going to stay in bounds? He does. 5-3 Quake. A big pull from Quake to land about halfway back in the end zone, up to the front line. Fenix sweeping a cutter across. Quake now in a junk. This is not their 1-3-3. Fenix with what could be a punishing drop, about 20 yards out. That hits you in the hands with no defensive pressure. It's got to be a catch. Quake with a break upfield. We're now 2 yards out. That's a break for Quake. 6-3. We're at 6-3. First 2 days of the tournament, games are to 15. That makes half at 8, unless we reach 45 minutes, and then there's a cap, similar to how a full score cap works. 45 minutes in, you go to the next score, and then you add 1. That score would be the halftime. I think we're going to make it to an 8-point halftime this game. Big floaty pull from Quake. Gonna land a couple yards into the end zone. Christian with the around flick. Here he is again. We've now gained about 20 yards. A solid throw into the middle to that high side. And honestly, you see the quality of a player like Kevin Christian, who has played at the highest level with Austin double wide, just able to step around and hit those throws into the wind crisply. Here he is again. We're at about midfield with a scuba that breaks it open. There's a flick. We're about 5 yards out. Really what Fenix needs to do is get it back to Christian and be patient. There he is, about 15 out, and this is going to be a goal. 6-4 Quake. Fenix looking like it's pure man. Quake running its spread offense. Unable to hit a cutter though, and having trouble getting it to a handler. Today trying to run a give and go. That opens up the swing. We've got an open hucking lane. The throw is up. It's a nice catch. Unclear whether he's in. He's calling himself in. No argument there. 7-4 Quake. This is Fenix's second time out of the half. You get 2 per half, which actually does make me rethink a little bit about what I said about a bad idea to use one earlier. 2's a lot. Maybe not the worst thing in the world if you think that using one could lead to a break. Quake pull. Fenix starting right on the end zone line. We're about 10 yards out now. Again, just struggling to see cutter-to-cutter passes. Upfield. There's one. We need a continuation. It's going to come from the backfield. Foul call by Fenix. Gutierrez slapped him on the hand there. Solid throw to that upwind side of the field. Good. If Fenix can keep it here, it's worth losing a yard or two. It opens up throws like that where you've got the entire field that you're looking at. We're going to go across here. Wow! What a snag. Goes fully horizontal, hits his teammate in the air. He was in control of that disc from the moment he left the ground, really. That was beautiful. (7-5) Quake. You get that?
Where are you from? Okay. Nice. Okay. I was in Cincinnati for US Open this season. Oh yeah? Nice. Did you play in college? Okay. When? Yeah? You gonna try out for like whatever?
Well, eventually. Yeah. I tore my ACL.
Shit, man.
I was supposed to be playing with Rashida.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Was able to do this though.
Yeah, yeah. Fenix to pull, down 7-5. This is a chance for Quake to take half. Pull's gonna reach just about at the end zone. This is the first vertical stack we've seen from Quake, and they're gonna shoot deep right away. And that's gonna work for him. That's halftime. 8-5 Quake. When we come back, Quake will have a chance to stay up a break. They're receiving on offense. We're going to send it into halftime.
I don't know about being up here on this shaky thing, man.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think.
Overall, you probably just see a bit more.
Okay.
You see any like vintage glass. It's like all the colours off, so I'm going to get some jacket tape and try it.
Yeah.
It's heavy, man.
I know.
We're back, first point out at half. Pull goes out of bounds. And we've got Quake coming in on their end zone line. There's the first over-the-top attempt we've seen, and it's gonna work. Fenix leaves a big gap on that weak upwind side of the field, especially the closer it gets to the downwind side, the bigger a chance you've got to capitalize over there if you have to throw. You see here that Quake receivers could fade more toward that sideline and really have no one within 20 yards. You might see it again here. There it is. Fenix defender getting smart to it. Quake's got to look upfield there. The receiver didn't even turn his eyes upfield. Got to threaten to get more yards. That's a missed throw from Quake. Fenix is going to pick up a little bit short of midfield. Big chance to earn a break back here. Going downwind. Fenix with a throw to the cutter. Another cutter to cutter. Here we see a reset. Can we go around to the high side of the field? It's not going to keep going there. Here we are. That is going to be a goal. Fenix gets a break back. We're now at 8-6. Here's the pull from Fenix. Upfield, seeing the spread offense from Quake. Four-man cup from Fenix. We get through about 25 yards up. And reset to a handler. Over the top. Here's a chance for some off to the races. Swinging to the high side of the field. Quake looks in control at this point. Fenix is now crumbled into a man defense. Going over the top. Fenix defender gets smart to it. The actual defender on that man had switched off or poached off. Fenix still comes down with the D. We're about 20 yards out and just shoot it about, oh man, way too far. Just getting the jitters, that's gotta be, just pump fake it, take a deep breath, find the open person. Kevin Christian there looking like he was in a mood to get every other throw, start taking over like he has. You're seeing him not play that many points. My guess is that that's because he's a guest player and doesn't always play with this team, but you've got him on the field. You're going upwind. He's clearly the best thrower on the field. Take a deep breath and get him the disc. Quake to tap in against that four-man cup from Fenix. Over the top, we're seeing Quake get less and less wary of over-the-top shots. This one's gonna float, but he's still gonna bring it in. Looks like he bobbles it and Fenix gets a hands on it while he doesn't have control. Looked like he had time to bring that down, but now we're on the upwind side. And a hasty throw, that's just a tight break window back to Quake. Looking like we might huck here, but no, we're gonna swing across. There should be a good 3 or 4 passes coming from this. And we've got un perito on the field. That's just a dog running wild, folks. We've got a baby chasing it now. Off the field, looking like we're gonna come back in play. And there's a huck to someone who looks wide open. Christian tracking, unable to come down with it. Looks like he wasn't able to time his jump with the way he got the read on the disc. There's a hold for Quake. You see Fenix working. This is just back to Christian. There's an IO. No other player on this field is throwing that throw. Back to Christian. Cutters are now stranding. They're pretty far back. Fenix just lost about 15 yards on a dump set. Another one of those IOs. Just coming from an angle the mark is not ready for. 3 solid throws in flow. Back to Christian. He's able to hit that open upwind, upfield swing to Christian up line, not in. He's going to be a step out. And he goes high release break. There's a hold for Fenix. Bringing our score to 9-7.
Steve. Steve. You guys. Yeah. I know who Reckon is. But I know who Reckon is. I'm not that young anymore.
Somebody's got it. Huh?
Again, 9-7 Quake. Fenix coming off a hold. Going to pull upwind. It's a solid pull. It's going to get into the end zone. Really solid pull. Looked to me like it landed in bounds, but might have come out on the line. He's going to bring it all the way up to the brick mark. And an immediate hook look. Almost worked. Fenix defender didn't look like he knew just how quickly that Quake player was coming on, but he still gets the D. We're here stuck on the upwind side of the field, the downwind side of the field, I should say. That's a turnover on the reset, just not enough space. Quake about 25 yards out. And about 10 yards upfield. Looking to go cross. It's going to work. That's a hold for Quake. 10-7. Here comes Quake with the pull. Fenix going to be working with what's essentially a downwind. Look for the spread offense. Would be curious to see more of their side stack, however. And this pull is, did it land in bounds? It doesn't look like he's signaling out, so I think it did. We are seeing the side stack. Looking to get the disc to Christian. With that IO break, but a little bit shallow there. Quake able to get the disc on the layout D. We're about 12 yards out. Cotere going to pick up. Look like we got an ISO at the front. The handler sag gives the open dump. Now looking to swing back around. We're here on the sideline, swinging around. An IO break. It's not going to stay in his hands. Unable to bring it in. Fenix disc. It's a Fenix huck. I think they've gone 1 for 5 on hucks at this point. They talked about before the game not being a hucking team. If that's what you are, probably smart not to huck it. Quake getting about 6 yards early on give and goes. Still working between the handlers. Really no motion from the cutters here at all. That's a problem later in games. You're going to need to turn that up throughout the weekend, not turn it down. We've got an open cut. Still have yet to pass about 15 yards out. Definitely not passing the brick mark. And really, that's one of the keys to quality ultimate. Can you isolate your cutters well enough that you are eating up yards with every throw? There's a big difference between 3 throws that gain you 5 yards and 3 throws that gain you 30, 40. We've got an injury on the field, a Quake player down. Looks like he's okay. He's gonna come off, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be debilitating. Cheeky break throw for the dump. We've got a cutter coming open. That's a big yard cut. That's solid. What can we get off of it? We're dumping again. Not using the high side immediately, but going there afterward. Upfield, high side. Solid work. You see the effect of using that high side. That's a break for Quake, 11-7. Fenix with only 1 break this game. Quake now with 3. Putting them up 2 breaks cumulatively.
half. Tilt. Mike. Tilt cap.
We're here at 11-7 Quake. A little over 10 minutes until the soft cap will come on. Game is to 15, looking like we are going to go to cap. If I were a betting man, I would take that bet. Pull from Quake is up. It's going to be well out of bounds. It's going to give Kevin Christian the disc at the break mark. Quake back in their 1-3-3 zone. Christian electing to go downwind, goes right back to him in the middle of the field. Fenix keeping in the middle and now to the high side. This is a nice save off the bobble. 2 bobbles equal a save there. Quake transitioning into man. Fenix about 30 yards out. We go to the middle to Kevin Christian, looking to break the mark, and he does. Disc can't continue to the high side. Still not going too far to the middle. We're looking to stay on the upwind side. It's now coming downwind a little bit. Back upwind. Giving more room for break throws. There's one. We're about 3 yards out. The mark just bit there. That's all that happened. A quick fake and the mark just dove to the wrong side. Christian about 5 yards out, looking to break the mark. There it is. Forces it in way too fast. That's the first throwing mistake we've seen him make. That's just got way too much pace and at far too short a distance to work. Quake taking an easy 20-yard gainer, 15-yard gainer. Ooh, that's a bad drop. Now, what Fenix would be smart to do here is stack their players farther toward the bottom of your screen and give Kevin Christian a big break lane. He's not going to pick up, though. They're going to try their ISO, and I think Quake is pretty on to the ISO. Hasn't worked this game until now, though. There's a score for Quake, or for Fenix, I'm sorry. 11-8 Quake.
That guy, he's hard to work. Hey, how's you calling for a streaker on the field? What are you saying right now? Do you take camera away or you
Oh, yeah. Just sit back and be an all, Reed.
Scoreboard says 11-8. I've got 12-7. I'm hearing confirmation on 11-8. My mistake, folks. Actually, I had 11-8 all along. I'm just messing with everyone. Fenix with the pull. Quake working out of their end zone. So today against the four-man cup. Near turn. So today directing traffic. Fenix looking different downfield, putting a man over to stop the hammer across. And I think that's a smart move. It does leave that space vulnerable. Swinging back, going over to the high side. In the middle. We've got a hook. It's gonna blade way too quickly. It's down. Fenix disc. Looking to make it 11-9. Not able to bring the dump throw in over his head. Quake getting in motion early. And there's the score. 12-8 Quake. Here's the pull from Quake. It's going to sail out of bounds. Before the game, Phoenix's captain talked to me about their third seed in the pool, and their goal really is to finish top 2. Quake is the 2. Obviously, this game is not going their way in terms of what they're looking to do. This is the chance to take that 2 seed. Now what they're going to need is for Quake to lose to the 1 and also to beat the 1. That's a taller task. We see Christian tapping it in at the brick mark, swinging over to the upwind side of the field. We're about 20 yards up. Solid movement from Fenix. Haven't conceded any big dumps. Quake transitioning from junk into man. Christian with the hammer. Catches his teammate backpedaling and on his heels. That's a tough one to bring in. Quake disc. Quake upfield. Turf throw. Gonna give it to Fenix about 35 yards out. Christian picking up. Swinging into the middle of the field. We've gained about 10 yards now. Christian's gonna hang one up cross field. Fenix is not gonna come down with that. Back to Quake. And Christian comes in and gets his disc back. He immediately calls an injury. And there it is. Quake finally gets their upwinder. 12-9. I'm sorry, Fenix finally gets their upwinder. It's 12-9 Quake.
I'm gonna go look at it. I'm curious.
Oh, I think it's like a couple of feet away.
Oh, that I see.
Looks like that's game because of the cap, folks. So there it is. Our first broadcast here from PAUC 2015. Quebec City Quake takes it over Mexico City 12-9. We'll see you later in the day.